Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth. As it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Give us this day our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts.
And forgive us our debts.
As we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation.
And lead us not into temptation.
But deliver us from evil.
But deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom.
For thine is the kingdom.
And the power.
And the power.
And the glory.
And the glory.
Forever.
Forever.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
For he is good.
For he is good.
And his mercy endures forever.
And his mercy endures forever.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
Praise the Lord God of Israel.
For he is good.
For he is good.
And his mercy endures forever.
For his mercy endures forever.
In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
In Jesus' mighty name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Today's scripture reading is Exodus 15. It's Exodus 15, verses 1 through 7. Then sang Moses and the children of Israel this song unto the Lord, and spake, saying, I will sing unto the Lord, for he hath righteously triumphed gloriously. The horse and his rider has he thrown into the sea. The Lord is my strength and song, and he has become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare him a habitation, my father's God, and I will exalt him. The Lord is a man of war, the Lord is his name. Pharaoh's chariots and his hosts hath he cast into the sea. His chosen captains are also drowned in the Red Sea. The depths have covered them. They sank to the bottom as a stone. The right hand, O Lord, is become glorious in power. Thy right hand, O Lord, have dashed in pieces. And the greatness of thy ecstasy, thou hast overthrown them that rose up against thee. Thou sendest forth thy wrath, which has consumed them as stubble. Will the Lord bless the hearing and doing of his word? In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Praise the Most High God. While I deal with this microphone real quick. Okay, I think we're good now. All right, y'all. Sorry I am late. A little bit of traffic at 95, but y'all already know. Okay. Y'all know how I do it. So we're going to have the Sabbath disclaimer first, right? Then we're going to go with the multiple response strategies, or I'll call it crowd interaction, just so I know you guys understand it. Then we're going to get into the lesson. All right, Sabbath disclaimer. Today is the Sabbath of the Lord, right? 24-hour period from sundown Friday to sundown Saturday, right? This day is supposed to be a holy convocation, and this is what we're doing. We are convocating. We're going to be reading. That is a part of convocating. In this day, we are not supposed to kindle a fire. When I say kindle a fire, I mean don't cook. When I say don't cook, I mean don't smoke. And when I say don't smoke or cook, don't seethe. Meaning don't boil and don't use a microwave, because a microwave uses intermolecular friction to boil things. So do not use a microwave on this day, all right? You're not supposed to buy or sell, meaning doing transactions of any kind, financial transactions. If you have a business, your business is not supposed to be open today, right? Because your manservant, your maidservant, your cow, and everything else is not supposed to be working, all right? And I got a new one. Do not get into an argument. Mr. Elliott took pivot. Don't get into an argument with your husband, your wife, your baby mama, your baby daddy, your kids. You might yell at your kids. That's kind of cool, because sometimes kids get yelled at. Not on the Sabbath. This is a day that's supposed to be a safe day. This is supposed to be a great day. We're supposed to have peace. So everything that we dealt with this week, leave it outside those doors, please. Amen. That being said, you are supposed to come together on this day, like this, holy convocation. We are supposed to read the Bible, right? We are supposed to pray for one another, react with one another, commiserate and love one another, all right? Hence the don't argue stuff, right? The polar opposite of not arguing is loving one another, right? That being said, I see some new faces, all right? So I got to go through this, and I will go through it regardless. I do not interacting with microphone stands that lean. I don't like talking to track lighting and bags, black bags on there. I like talking to people. I see people out in the crowd. That means I want you guys to understand the concept. If you guys understand the concept, right, and how it's being expressed, what do? Thumbs up. Dude, I got it. I'm with you, right? If you do not understand the concept at any time, shape, form, or fashion, what do? Thumbs down, homie. Como está? Okay? And if you guys kind of understand the concept, right? You're getting it, but you need a little bit more, thumb to the side with a little wiggle to it, like get me there, like you hitchhike, right? That's what that's for. Now, the name of the lesson, using scriptures to prevent or resolve church conflict. I am not going to sell you guys a narrative that when you come into the truth, every day is going to be a happy day with funnel cake and rainbows and unicorns. All right? And I am not going to impose a narrative on the Bible. Here's what we do. When we deal with the Word of God, sometimes we impose a narrative on the Bible, right? Meaning we feel bad because we're angry, or we feel bad because we're sad or we're depressed. When I can clearly read people in the book who were in situations that would have made anyone sad, angry, or depressed. So, that being said, when there is conflict in this class, all right, when it is conflict among us, right, there are protocols in the Bible and steps in the Bible that is given to us to resolve or prevent it, all right, before it goes too far and we become stumbling blocks. You dig? Y'all with me out there? Bet. So, without further ado and me flapping, because I don't flap, we're going to get into this lesson. Using scriptures to prevent or resolve church conflict. Proverbs 9. I always like to set the tone in my lessons to kind of tell people or show people what the general premise or thesis of the lesson will be. This lesson is improvement for the wise. Proverbs 9, we're going 8 through 9. Proverbs 9, we're going 8 through 9. And when you get there, brother, go ahead and read.
Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love thee.
He will hate you.
He will love thee.
If you rebuke a wise man or woman, they are supposed to take this wisdom and love you for it, because it's in their best interest and your best interest to do that, right? Go ahead, bro.
Give instruction to the wise man, and he will yet be wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning.
Read 9 again, bro.
Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be yet wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning.
This is what this lesson is for. It is to instruct and to warn and to inspire. This is one of the few lessons that I have that I think does all three. So it's supposed to instruct you, warn you, and inspire you, all right, to be better. And it's supposed to inspire me too. Let's go to 1 Timothy. 1 Timothy. And you guys understand I'm a little bit unorthodox with how I get down. But hey, different people express things differently. We're not all robots. We're not all automatons. That means robot, by the way. 1 Timothy 5. 1 Timothy 5. The scriptures are supposed to correct a fool before he gets worse. And it's a preventative measure before other people become fools. 1 Timothy 5. One verse, very tactical. Verse 20. Go ahead, bro.
Them that sin rebuke before all, that others also may fear.
So if a person is sinning, rebuke them before all. And we'll get to that in a moment. Let's go to Job 34. Again, I'm setting the tone. I'm setting the thesis for what this lesson is for. Job 34. Because in reality, it is not all rainbows and happiness, man. Life is not generally like that. There's highs and lows, there's ups and there's downs, and it depends on how we deal with life. And we have to deal with it righteously, according to what we can read. Not self-righteously, but righteously, if y'all understand what I'm talking about. Job 34. Job 34. Go ahead, my brother.
Hear my words, O ye wise men, and give ear unto me, ye that have knowledge.
And that's what I'm talking about. Let's go to James 3. Now, we have to watch how we speak to one another. I'm going to say it again. We have to watch how we speak to one another. First and foremost, I'm not saying everyone's going to always get along. What I am saying is we should generally try to respect each other. at all times.
Man.
That's what we should do.
What do you say?
I'm just keeping it real, y'all.
Tell it.
Y'all know I don't sugarcoat it. I had the feds come get me, man, a long time ago and drag me out 2 feds and pistols. I don't shake. That's my perspective. My brain operates a little bit differently. James 3, we're going 6 through 12. We have to watch how we speak to one another. James 3, 6 through 12. Go ahead, my brother.
And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity.
A world of holiness.
A world of iniquity.
Come on.
So is the tongue among our members, that it defileth the whole body.
Stop. The tongue can defile your whole body.
Right.
Your tongue. Right? Y'all ain't hearing me. Go ahead, bro.
And setteth on fire the course of nature, and it is set on fire of hell.
The tongue is set on fire of hell, meaning that old man or that old woman that we were, right? He or she is in the back of our heads, right? And we should have him or her behind a steel door, 3/16 steel, maybe about 2 feet thick, to keep him or her from busting loose like Rick James. Y'all with me on that? Go ahead, bro.
For every kind of beast, and of birds, and of serpents, and of things in the sea is tamed, and hath been tamed of mankind.
Come on.
But the tongue can no man tame.
Every man can tame.
No man tame.
All men.
No man tame.
Come on.
It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison.
Stop. We have to watch how we speak to one another. When it's that moment, when the incredible, like I call it the Incredible Hulk, when the Incredible Hulk comes out, right? You can say something to somebody in an argument, and that's it. You can't pull it back. So you got to keep control of that mouth. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I see some tongues out there. Go ahead, my brother.
Wherewith blessed be we God, even the Father, and wherewith cursed we men, which are made after the similitude of God.
Come on.
Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not to be so.
Stop. Let that soak in. Now, I know in this class, in all the churches of Christ, none of us ever get mad enough and cuss each other out and then bless God right afterwards. I know that doesn't happen. Where I'm being facetious, by the way. Please read that again so we can make sure we know what we're talking about. Verse 10 again, bro.
Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessing and cursing. My brethren, these things ought not so to be.
Come on.
Doeth the fountain bring forth at the same place sweet water and bitter? Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries?
Stop. Can a fig tree give you grapes? No. It's literally impossible. So the Lord is, so what we got right now is a comparison of what we should actually strive to have. We should strive to have a mouth that says encouraging good things. Now again, I am not going to impose a narrative on this book and tell you that at every given moment in your life, you're going to be able to hold back the Incredible Hulk, right? What I am saying is this, more often than not, you should be able to control the Incredible Hulk. Y'all with me on that? Go ahead, sir.
Either a vine, figs, so can no fountain both yield salt water and fresh.
Let's go to Ephesians 5 real quick. Or like if you're shooting dice, Ephesians fever in the funk house. Somebody got that. Ephesians 5. Ephesians 5. Hey man, this is your first time reading for me, man. You have to be on guard, man. You have to be on guard. You got to keep control, man. Ephesians 5. Again, we have to watch how we speak to one another, right? And we have to watch our inner dialogue in our minds as it relates to us also. But that's not this lesson. Go ahead, my brother.
Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient.
Which are very convenient.
Not convenient.
Perfectly okay.
Not convenient.
Come on.
But rather giving of thanks.
These are things that should not be coming out of our mouths, right? Filthiness. I ain't going to be going to elaborate on that. Y'all already get that. Right. But watch this. Foolish jesting, foolish talking or jesting. You have to understand, we have different personality types, right? I could say a joke to somebody and we completely get it and they not be offended. I could say the same joke to another person and because they have a different personality type, they are completely offended. So you have to kind of know a person's disposition. We don't all have the same disposition. Some of us are quicker to spit, and some of us are more laid back. You dig? Right. Now, I got a book. Y'all know how I get down. I got a book. Go to 190. First, I want you to read the title of the book, her name, and then we're going to flip over and we're going to read this right here. So they'll know her pedigree.
Okay. All right. The book title is I Know What You're Thinking, Using the 4 Codes of Reading People to Improve Your Life.
Read her name. What's her name?
Her name is Lillian Glass,
all right, go ahead,
PhD.
This is her pedigree, y'all. Go ahead.
Lillian Glass, PhD, holds 2 doctoral degrees, one in communication disorders and the other in counseling psychology.
So she has a doctorate in communication disorders, and she has a doctorate in counseling psychology. Mm-hmm. All right? This is her pedigree. Go ahead, bro.
She has a private practice in Beverly Hills where she has helped many celebrated Hollywood clients, business executives, sports figures, and politicians. She is the author of numerous best-selling books and is one of America's most sought-after media psychologists and commentators.
Now, go to page 199. I'll dance you right through it, bro. Page 199, you'll see where I made the indentations and squiggles so you can read. Go ahead, bro.
For centuries, there has much has been written about the classification of personality traits. The list is impressive, from the ancient Greek physician Galen or Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung to contemporary psychologists such as Abraham Maslow, Erik Erikson, Isabel Briggs Myers, and David Kiersey.
So what they're doing is they're basically running down these personality types that has existed since psychology kind of came on the map. Prior to what, she has her own version of it. She has 14 that are classified. They had 9. So 9, and in her practice throughout the years, she's figured out that there's actually 14 different personality types. Okay. Go ahead, sir.
Others such as Kathleen Hurley, Theodore Dobson, Renee Barron, Elizabeth Waggle, and Don Risso have incorporated the Enneagram, a 9-pointed drawing to illustrate a person's personality type.
Now, read these personality types slow, please, and pay attention to these 9 personality types. Go ahead, sir.
These 9 types are helper, achiever, observer, romantic, confronter, peacemaker, succeeder, adventurer, and individualist.
Please read those again, sir.
Helper, achiever, observer, romantic, confronter, peacemaker, succeeder, adventurer, and individualist. Throughout the ages, we have an insatiable need to unlock the mysteries of who we are, how we fit in the universe, and how we fare as compared to those around us. People have discovered that only through better understanding of themselves and others can they understand the miracle of the world around them.
So this is what I'm trying to relate to you guys. There are personality types. And if you kind of have an idea of a person's personality type and their disposition, you'll know exactly how to communicate effectively with them and not disrespectfully to them. Y'all follow me on this so far? Yeah. 203, bro. Go to 203. Yes, sir?
When you analyze someone's personality, it is essential that you look at them objectively, then go a step deeper by looking at them emotionally. Before you read a person to determine personality type, remember that the most important consideration in reading people is consistency. Remember that human beings are not inanimate objects. People can't and do change, so they need to be observed over time before you can certify results.
Stop. So the first thing we have to realize is every individual that we're dealing with is indeed a person, and that we need to respect them. And we need to not impose our life narrative on them. When I say life narrative, I mean all of our prejudices, all the things that we feel and have felt, we can literally project that onto people. And we can't do that. We have to step back and be objective and respectful. Go ahead, sir.
Perhaps they behaved a certain way certain years ago, even months ago. Then a life-changing circumstance occurred and altered the way they view life. Hence, their personality traits may change temporarily or permanently.
So people can change if we want to. That's why we're here, because all of us used to be a different way. Now we're trying to change and remain changed. Go ahead, sir. Read the personality types, please.
Number 1, the passive aggressor, the seducer, the victim, the icicle, the wimp, the liar, the narcissist, the slob or the snob, the competitor, the giver, the bully, the jokester, the unconscious one, the real dealer.
I want you to read all of those personality types again, louder and slower. I want y'all to understand these personality types. Go ahead, bro.
The passive aggressor,
So there's a personality type called a passive aggressor, right? They don't necessarily trip right away, but eventually they will trip. But they trip in different ways. I'm not going to get into the minutia of each personality type. We're just going to roll through it so you'll understand that there are 14. And among these 14 personality types, I guarantee you some of us fit those. Hi, I'm the jokester sometimes. Nice to meet you. Go ahead, bro.
Number 2 is the seducer,
Hold that. Let it soak. The seducer. Go ahead.
the victim,
The victim. That personality type.
the icicle,
The icicle. Can you imagine what the personality type of the icicle is? Wow, right? Now imagine the victim that's an icicle. Y'all understand what we're dealing with.
right.
There's a confluence or a convergence of personality types. Go ahead, sir.
The wimp,
The wimp. I don't even got to tell y'all what that is. George McFly. Go ahead, bro.
the liar,
The liar, right? That's a personality type. Whoa. Go ahead, bro.
the narcissist,
That's someone who cares strictly about them and their lives only, and they can never see it from your perspective at all. That's part of the dark triad of personalities. Very bad personality trait to have. Go ahead, bro.
the snob,
The snob. He goes into the air. Grey Poupon, y'all. Go ahead, bro.
the competitor,
The competitor. I gotta be better than you, and you can't be as good as me, and you're never gonna be as good as me because, yeah, the competitor. Go ahead, bro.
the giver,
The giver. That's someone who gives, right? They love people and they want to give. Typically, narcissists take advantage of givers. Go ahead, bro.
the bully,
The bully. I don't even gotta tell y'all what that is. Somebody always trying to punk somebody. Not good. Go ahead, bro.
the jokester,
Hey, how you doing? Pleasure to meet you. Go ahead, bro.
the unconscious one,
The unconscious one. I'm not gonna even get into that one. Go ahead, bro.
the real dealer,
The real dealer is what all of us should be trying to be, which is, look, I am this way. I am trying to be better. This is who I am, right? Not try to hide behind a mask.
Right.
That's what we're trying to all become. I know I'm trying to become that, right? Please go to page 204, sir. Go ahead.
In analyzing personality types, you will usually be examining people who are relatively inactive psychologically.
Gotta be louder, bro.
These people may be suffering from certain neurosis, as most of us do, but are still able to function adequately.
Stop. So she just said most people got a little something wrong in their head, right? That's okay. That's not a problem. As long as you understand that everyone in this room has some sort of cognitive distortion and bias that prevents them from seeing the world how it is and only seeing the world according to their perspective. As long as we understand that, we can get better. Go ahead, sir.
It is important to know that there are those who are not able to function due to more serious psychological problems, such as schizophrenia, whereby a person may be out of touch with reality and may exhibit bizarre speaking patterns that may not make sense to others, or someone may exhibit specific spatial and body movements that indicate that they are out of control.
Go ahead, bro.
Similarly, some may suffer from bipolar disorder or may have serious bouts or severe bouts with depression. There may be distinct vocal speech patterns ranging from pressured speech to
Activity.
hyperloc.
It's called hyperloquaciousness, which means you talk a lot and very fast. Go ahead, bro.
To communicating about grand illusions, to minimal monotone speech, to lacking of speaking at all.
So someone that's bipolar and suffer from this, they go from being here all the way over here and then all the way back. It's not like the monotone kind of, it's not the in the middle balance. It's like, woo, woo, woo. like that. All right, so if you find someone that's dealing with that thing, you have to be very cognizant of how you deal with them, because they can be very offended at what you say. Go ahead, sir.
Facial and body movements may be consistent with the disorders, from hyperactivity to barely moving facial and body muscles.
So in other words, from pop locking to just sitting still like a statue. Go ahead, bro.
Those with borderline personality disorders may also have difficulty socializing with others. They may be reflected by what and how they say things and the serious, often angry looks that appear on their faces. Addressing these psychological problems is beyond the scope of this book. Suffice to say, we must be sensitive to the fact that these conditions do exist and must keep this fact in mind when attempting to analyze personality traits.
So that's what we're talking about. Now you guys know about the personality types, right? Let's get back to the book. Was that very helpful and useful to you guys? Yeah. Couple of thumbs. Okay, let's go to Ecclesiastes 10. Ecclesiastes 10. Now this is regarding speaking inappropriately or harshly or disrespectfully to one another. That's what this is going to cover. Again, there's personality types. You can't deal with everybody how you would deal with me. You know, I'm pretty easygoing. It takes a lot to get me riled up. But there's some people that's way more uptight, and if you say what you would say to me to them, they might trip. As far as speaking inappropriately or harshly or disrespectfully, Ecclesiastes 10. We're going verse 1 and we're going to dance. I got you, bro. Ecclesiastes 10, verse 1. Go ahead.
Dead flies cause the ointment of the apothecary to send forth a stinking savor. So doeth the little folly him that is in reputation for wisdom and honor.
So a little folly for someone who is purported to have wisdom and knowledge of God, a little folly is like a perfume with a dead bug in it, right? That's what it's the equivalent of. It could be a stumbling block. It could turn somebody completely away from the gospel. Skip to verse 12, bro. Go ahead.
The words of a wise man's mouth are gracious, but the lips of a fool will swallow up himself. The beginning of the words of his mouth is foolishness.
It's wise.
It's foolishness.
Come on.
And the end of his talk is mischievous madness.
The end of his talk is mischievous madness. Does that sound appealing? Does that sound like something you want to deal with? Go ahead, bro. 14.
That fool also is full of words. A man cannot tell what shall be, and what shall be after him. Who can tell him?
Let's go to Ephesians 4. Now, when someone offends you, this is what you're supposed to do. When someone has offended you, because I tell you that everything's going to be perfect and no one's going to ever offend you, but what I can tell you is someone's going to offend you. In here, someone is going to offend you. This is what you do when they do. Ephesians 4, we're going 25 through 26. Ephesians 4, we're going 25 through 26.
Wherefore put away lying, speak every man truth with his neighbor, for we are members one of another. Be ye angry and sin not.
Stop. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody says something to offend you, it's all right to be angry. Just don't sin. Just don't let it take you and keep taking you there. Go ahead, bro.
Let not the sun go down upon your wrath.
Now, I'm not telling you, and I know dang on well, everybody in here, when they get mad, they're going to go ahead and clear everything out before the sun goes down. I know dang on well that's not going to happen. But what I'm going to say is this. Don't let it offend you. Don't sin and eventually come to that person and deal with it. That is what I will say. Control your emotions. Control that emotional elephant. I did a lesson, I was talking about an emotional elephant, okay? Your limbic system, your amygdala. This part of your brain right here, that's where your emotions come from. You have to control this part with this part, your prefrontal cortex. Y'all with me on that? Some of y'all's with me on that. That's okay. Let's go to 2 Chronicles. We got to control that elephant, y'all. And my elephant, he's got like 3 characters. He's like a mix between Lex Luthor, Darth Vader, and what was the other one? Lex Luthor, Darth Vader, and Dracula. That's what my elephant has got a mix of. I'm trying to turn him into Ferris Bueller, y'all. I'm working on it. 2 Chronicles 19. Now, teachers and leaders and elders, this is how we're supposed to judge. 2 Chronicles 19. 4 through 8. This is how we're supposed to judge things.
And Jehoshaphat dwelt at Jerusalem, and he went out against through the people from Beersheba to Mount Ephraim, and brought them back unto the Lord God of their fathers.
Come on.
And he set judges in the land throughout all the fenced cities of Judah, city by city, and said to the judges, Take heed what ye do, for ye judge not for man, but for the Lord, who is with you in the judgment.
Stop. Every time a teacher, an elder, all right, or a leader judges, we're not judging according to what we think is cool. We're not supposed to judge according to that. We're supposed to judge according to what this book says. Right. Fair and impartial, according to the law, statutes, and judgments. I don't care if you're my homie or not. I don't care if you're my homegirl or not. My job is supposed to tell you what's pop, what's right. Go ahead, bro.
Wherefore now let the fear of the Lord be upon you. Take heed and do it. For there is no iniquity with the Lord our God, nor respect of persons, nor taking of gifts.
Read 7 again, bro.
Wherefore now let the fear of the Lord be upon you. Take heed and do it. For there is no iniquity with the Lord your God, nor respect of persons, nor taking of gifts.
No respect of persons, nor taking of gifts. If I got a Gentile brother that's arguing against the Israelite, I am not supposed to take the Israelite side just because we both Israel. Right. That's respect of persons, and that is wrong. Right. Verse 8, brother, come on.
Moreover, in Jerusalem did Jehoshaphat set of the Levites, and of the priests, and of the chiefs of the fathers of Israel, for the judgment of the Lord, and for the controversies when they returned to Jerusalem.
Both sides have to tell their version, and we have to adjudicate according to this law. In this book, we filter things through the Bible, fair and impartial, after hearing the story from both sides. Let's go to Leviticus 19. I don't want to just hear one side of the story. I need to hear both sides. At the mouth of 2 or more witnesses is what? That's all I'm talking about. Brother just can't tell me everything and then expect to be like, yeah, man, she's stupid. She tripping. Y'all want that? Hit the streets. You get that in the streets. You need to hear, well, bro, hey, you know she actually got a right to trip. You did throw a ninja star at her. Leviticus 19. Give me verse 15, bro.
Ye shall do no unrighteousness in judgment.
Some unrighteousness.
No unrighteousness.
A little bit.
No unrighteousness.
Come on.
Thou shalt not respect the person of the poor, nor honor the person of the mighty. But in righteousness shalt thou judge thy neighbor.
I don't care if you got a phantom. I don't care if you're on the bus. Judgment has to be impartial according to what the book says, what is right. Let's go to Exodus 18. Also, more on judgment. Teachers and leaders. We got to delegate stuff. We have to delegate it because guess what happened? We'll burn out. I'm going to give you an example. Moses, right? Let's see these wise words right here. Jethro has some wisdom, and he was a priest of Midian, and yet he still has some wisdom. Exodus 18, we're going 13 through 26. Go ahead, bro.
And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses sat to judge the people, and the people stood by Moses from morning unto evening. And when Moses' father-in-law saw that all he did to the people, he said, What is this thing that thou doest to the people? Why sittest thou thyself alone, and all the people stand by thee from morning unto even?
Come on.
And Moses said unto his father-in-law, Because the people come unto me to inquire of God. When they have a matter, they come unto me, and I judge between one and another, and I do make them know the statutes of God and his laws.
No, I said I do make them to know my opinion because my opinion trumps everything else.
Statutes of God.
He said I actually make them know I actually make them know my opinion based on my friend and how I feel about my friend.
Statutes of God and his laws.
That is how we judge. Teachers, leaders, that's how we judge, according to what this book says. Not according to friendship or money or nothing. That's how we're supposed to judge. Fair and impartially according to the book. Go ahead, my bro.
And Moses' father-in-law said unto him, The thing that thou doest is not good. Thou wilt surely wear away, both thou and this people that is with thee. For this thing is too heavy for thee. Thou art not able to torment thyself alone.
I'm here to tell y'all, sometimes it does get heavy on you. It does. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a wild responsibility on so many levels. And you have to be available all the time, literally. Am I right or am I wrong? Right. So the point being, you have to delegate it out. You know, like, for instance, if there's something, like, for instance, the feast committee in LA, we delegate it out to some sisters and let them be over it, because I'm definitely not the dude you want to see talking about some greens, okay? We can talk about me cleaning some toilets, but some greens and all that other stuff, I'll let the sisters deal with all that, because I got other stuff on my plate. The point is, we delegate out to those that are responsible and that can deal with it and that are fair and impartial and that men that really care about this book. Y'all with me on that? Go ahead, bro.
Hearken now unto my voice. I will give thee counsel, and God shall be with thee.
Who's going to be with him?
God, and God shall be with thee.
Come on.
Be thou for the people to Godward, that thou mayest bring the causes unto God.
Unto who?
Unto God.
Come on.
And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws.
He should teach them his opinion.
Ordinances and laws.
Go ahead.
And shall show them the way therein they must walk, and the work that they must do.
Wait, that just said work. I thought that all we got to do is believe God, trust in him, and we don't have to do no work. Why does it say work? Read 20 again. I think I can't see too good. Go ahead, bro.
And thou shalt teach them ordinances and laws, and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do.
Come on.
Moreover, thou shalt provide out of the people able men, such as fear God, men of truth, hating covetousness.
That said men of lies.
Men of truth.
That said the liar personality type.
Men of truth.
Come on.
And place such over them to be rulers over thousands, and rulers over hundreds, rulers of 50s, and rulers of 10s.
Come on.
And let them judge the people at all seasons.
No, just in the summertime.
All seasons.
Just when they feel like it.
At all seasons.
Come on.
And it shall be that every great matter they shall bring unto thee, but every small matter they shall judge. Shall it be easier for thyself, and they shall bear the burden with thee.
Come on.
If thou shalt do this thing, and God commanded thee so, then thou shalt be able to endure, and all this people shall also go to their places in peace.
What's going to happen is the leaders and the teachers will be able to endure, and not only endure, but the people shall have peace. The people shall have peace. Go ahead, bro.
So Moses hearkened unto the voice of his father-in-law, and did all that he had said.
Come on.
And Moses chose able men out of all of Israel, and made them heads over the people, rulers over thousands, rulers over hundreds, rulers over 50s, and rulers of 10s.
Come on.
And they judged the people at all seasons.
Just when they wanted to.
At all seasons.
Just in the summertime.
And they judged the people at all seasons.
Just when there was no snow on the ground.
At all seasons.
Go ahead, bro.
The hard causes they brought before Moses. Every small matter they judged themselves.
See, there are small matters that we should be able to literally judge between ourselves, but for the hard matters, for the crazy stuff, for the wild stuff, go holler at a teacher, go holler at a leader. All right? Y'all with me on that? Let's go to Matthew 18. I'm going to show y'all the interpersonal conflict resolution blueprint. It is the interpersonal conflict resolution blueprint. In other words, here's all the following steps when someone offends you, what you're supposed to do per the Bible. Not my opinion, not what I think. Matthew 18, one verse, very tactical. And hold your marker in Matthew 15 because we're going to be dancing back and forth. Matthew 18, one verse. Verse 15. Go ahead, bro.
Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone.
No, in front of everybody.
Between thee and him alone.
Come on.
If he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother.
Now, I'm going to show you why it's important for you to chop it up mano-a-mano or one-to-one. Go to Ecclesiastes 9 real quick. This is the perfect blueprint. It shows you how to deal with it at first. Then it shows you how to escalate it if escalation is necessary. But before it escalates, before you go get a teacher or an elder and get them involved, you're supposed to be like, hey, come holler at your boy, man. Let me take a walk with me real quick. That's how I do it. I say, come take a walk with your player partner real quick. And then we hash it out. But I pretty much don't do that too often because, you know, I let stuff roll off my back. I'm definitely ain't Carl Thomas. Matthew 18. Somebody got that. Matthew 18.
You sure you're not?
I'm sorry, Ecclesiastes 9. Ecclesiastes 9, I'm sorry. Ecclesiastes 9, one verse. When someone does something crazy to you, You can tell them, hey, come take a walk with me. Holler at me real quick. And this is why. Ecclesiastes 9, verse 17. Go ahead, bro.
The words of wise men are heard quiet, more than the cry of him that ruleth over among fools.
So it says the words of the wise are heard in quiet. Not everybody needs to know exactly what's going on between you two. There should be a way to hash it out and get it straight. You know what I'm saying? And these words are heard in quiet between you and them. Because guess what? If you get someone involved before it's resolved, it could escalate. All right? That's how brothers get shot. Somebody step on some dude's shoe, next thing you know, his homeboy's like, oh, I wouldn't take that, homie. I'll go get at him. Y'all understand what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Let's go back to Matthew 18. Now, like Brother Bowie said, so now, if he or she is not hearing you, here's what you do. Let's escalate it. Like if you're on the phone with customer service, you got to escalate it. Let's escalate it. Matthew 18, one verse 16. Go ahead, bro.
But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that at the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established.
So you need some people to come with you so every word can be established. At this point, you've already had the conversation and chopped it up, but it didn't go down the way you had hoped it was. There was no resolution. It was not resolved. So what happens is you go holler at somebody so they can be impartial and listen and be like, nah, dude, you was tripping. Or, nah, dude, they right, you tripping. But again, don't take my word for it. Let's go to Proverbs real quick. Again, hold your mark in Matthew. We're going to be back. Proverbs 14. Is this helpful? Proverbs 14. Because I am not telling y'all that no one is ever going to offend you in here and everyone's going to get along and kumbaya and the Brady Bunch theme song. I ain't telling you that. It's just like a family reunion. Everybody don't get along at the family reunion, do they? Everybody got that uncle or aunt that be tripping. Proverbs, I guess nobody has that aunt. Everyone is so adjusted in here, right? Proverbs 14. Proverbs 14, one verse, verse 25. This is why you need another person to go here, over here, or adjudicate with you. Go ahead, bro.
A true witness delivereth souls, but a deceitful witness speaketh lies.
So if you got a true witness, they can tell you you're tripping or they're tripping. Typically, that's how it's supposed to go, right? Like Bowie said, so now, go back to Matthew 18. So now, if they still tripping, this is what you do. So you didn't try to talk to them. You didn't try to hash it all out. They still not seeing what you're talking about. You had 2 or more people come. They still not seeing what you're talking about. And the witnesses are like, dude, you are tripping. Here's where we go now. Matthew 18, one verse, verse 17. Go ahead, bro.
And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell them to the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto thee as a heathen man or a publican.
Okay, y'all understand? If dude is still tripping or she's still tripping, and you let the church know, hey, this person is tripping, all right? And then everybody knows. Now, how do you treat them like a heathen or a publican? How do you do that? Go to Romans 16. This can be very useful. I know we're supposed to love everybody, but in reality, everybody is not meant to be loved by you.
I like that.
Okay?
Not by you.
You got it. That's the reality of it. I don't think everyone loved Judas after what he did. I'm just saying. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to tell y'all because we're all here reading the Bible that we're all going to be cool with each other all the time. That's not reality, homie. Trust me when I tell you. Romans 16, we're going 17 through 19. If they keep on tripping, this is what you do. Go ahead, bro.
Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them with cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
Please read 17 again. That's how you treat them like a publican.
Now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which ye have learned, and avoid them.
This not only goes for doctrine, but this goes for interpersonal conflict. Mark them.
Man.
If they tripping, mark them. You can be cool to them, but you ever heard the term long wooden spoon? What's up, bro? They keep it pushing because you don't want your salvation to be at stake because they're tripping. Y'all with me on that?
Man, what you say?
Ray Charles? Let's go to Proverbs 4.
No, we didn't finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro. That was Travis' fault. No, I ain't gonna blame it on him.
For they are such serve not our Lord Jesus Christ, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple.
Come on.
For your obedience is come abroad unto all men.
Some men.
All men.
Come on.
I am glad therefore on your behalf, but yet I would have you wise unto that which is good and simple concerning evil.
Let me deconstruct the latter half of 19. What he's saying is, I want you to be wise to do good. In other words, you have all the methodologies and techniques to do good at your disposal, and I want you to be stupid when it comes to being evil. In other words, revenge. That's what we're talking about here. Let's go to Proverbs 4. Now watch this. Let's take it a step further. You didn't mark them. You got the long wooden spoon. You dealing with them. Okay, it's cool, but they still tripping. Here we go. Proverbs 4. This book is so practical, y'all. It's so very practical. All we got to do is just do our job. Our job is to just do what the book says to do. And really, in all honesty, we'll be Elohim. Proverbs 4. It's just we make it more difficult. Me included. Proverbs 4. If the person is still out of pocket and tripping, here we go. Proverbs 4, we're going 14 and 15. Go ahead, bro.
Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not into the way of evil men.
Please read 14 again. I ain't hearing you.
Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not into the way of the evil man.
Come on.
Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away.
That's all I got to tell you. They still tripping. They still beefing. They still acting stupid. They still talking about angels sleeping with women and all this other stuff. You didn't long handle spoon. That spoon just gets longer and longer and longer until they gone. And you got to put that spoon away. Trust me, they will get purged out. I've seen it happen. Y'all with me on that? It's shocking. It's brutal that I'm telling you this, but I'm just reading it to you. You do not want anyone to jeopardize your salvation. Y'all with me on that? Let's go to Exodus 25. Now that we know how to deal with each other, this is what we need. We need participation when building a church. We need participation. All hands on deck. Whatever you can do, whatever you can help with, put it on the table. Don't just be a taker, right? That personality type, right? Don't just be a taker, be a giver. Now look, I ain't trying to turn this into no Creflo Dollar, money, gold, silver bars thing. I ain't trying to turn this verse into that. I could care less about what that is. All I'm showing you is giving. People gave, they gave what they could give and they willingly gave. It is not all about money all the time. Sometimes it's just about your time. Sometimes it's a kind word, it's a hug. Sometimes it's like, yo, bro, I'll clean up. You ain't got to clean up because I know you tired. Y'all feel what I'm saying right now? Exodus 25, let's go 1 through 8. Go ahead, bro.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they may bring me an offering of every man that giveth it willingly. With his heart ye shall take my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them, gold and silver and brass, and blue and purple and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's ears.
Again, I'm not trying to turn this into a Bentley, Rolls Royce contest and all this other stuff and give all the money. I ain't talking about that. I'm saying whatever you can do to be of service to God when building a church, please do it and do it with all your heart. That is what I'm illustrating here. Go ahead, bro.
And ram skins dyed red, and badger skins, and shittim wood, oil for the lights, spices for anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate.
Come on.
And let them make a sanctuary, that I may dwell among them.
Ultimately, we want the Lord to dwell among us. We want him to at least dispatch angels so that angels can be with us on the Sabbath and give us comfort and give us knowledge and give us understanding. If this is a place that is full of the devil, full of mischief, mischievous madness, we're going to have a problem. Trust me when I tell you. Let's go to Acts 6. Acts 6. Y'all with me out there? It's hard work for the gospel, y'all. It's hard work for the gospel. Trust me when I tell you. Hard work for the gospel. Let me show you an illustration of that hard work. Acts 6, we're going 1 through 4. Acts 6, 1 through 4. Go ahead, bro.
And in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily administration.
Come on.
Then the 12 called the multitude of the disciples unto them, and said, It is not reason that we should read the word and serve tables.
So the Greeks are banging on the Hebrews because their widows aren't being dealt with. Now, we all know that there was a policy that you're supposed to help out and take care of the widows, right? So that's what they were doing. They were helping these Gentile widows out. The Greeks was mad, though. But the brother was like, look, we know that some of us still have to take care of them, but we just can't drop the gospel just to be dealing with this. So what did they do? Go ahead, bro.
Wherefore, brethren, look ye out among you 7 men of honest report, full of the Holy Ghost and wisdom, whom ye may appoint over this business.
Come on.
We will give ourselves continually to prayer and to the ministry of the word.
Verse 4 again, sir. This is what we all need to be on. Go ahead, bro.
But we will give ourselves continually to prayer and to the ministry of the word.
That is what our main focus is. Willingly, we give ourselves. Now, sisters, I know y'all get a bad rep and a bad habit or a bad whatever, right? In the gospel, right? Oh, women, blah, blah, blah. But we need y'all too. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. We need y'all too. And I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. Acts 9. Go over to Acts 9. Y'all part of this thing too. You guys can help also. I ain't going to tell you you're going to be up here behind the pulpit. That ain't what I'm telling you. But what I'm saying is, we need y'all to help too. It's a family affair. Sliding the family stone, if y'all get what I'm saying. Acts 9. We're going 36 through 41. We need y'all, sisters. Watch this. Go ahead, bro.
Now there was at Joppa a certain disciple named Tabitha, which by interpretation was called Dorcas.
Stop. I thought once the name is in Hebrew, it can't get interpreted to something else. Wait, why is her name Tabitha in Dorcas in another language? I thought there was no letter J. Oh, okay, never mind. Go ahead, bro.
This one was full of good works and alms deeds, which she did.
So Dorcas had good works. She was putting in work for the gospel. Go ahead, bro.
And it came to pass in those days that when she was sick and died, whom when they had washed, they had laid her in an upper chamber.
So they about to have a wake. Go ahead, bro.
And forasmuch as Lydda was nigh to Joppa, and the disciples had heard that Peter was there, they sent unto him 2 men, desiring him that he would not delay to come to them.
So Peter, the heavy hitter, Peter's the dude that the foundation of the church, because of his comment was made, was put on him, right? Upon this church, in other words, you're the Christ. Upon that statement, I will build my church. Peter is about to go do something. Heavy hitter. If women was just useful and not necessary and all this stuff, why is Peter going to her wake? Y'all understand? She was putting in work. Go ahead, my brother.
Then Peter arose and went with them. When he was come, they brought him into the upper chamber, and all the widows stood by him weeping, and showing the coats and the garments which Dorcas made, while she was with them.
That's what she did. Everybody is feeling, they're all emotional and feeling bad, but her thing was she made coats and garments to clothe people and keep people warm. That's what she did. So I'm fairly certain whatever talent, whatever thing you have that you can give to the Lord and give yourself wholly to it, do it. Her thing was sewing, and she did it to the point where Peter showed up. Go ahead, my brother.
But Peter took them all forth, and kneeled down and prayed, and turned him to the body, said, Tabitha, arise. And she opened her eyes, and when she saw Peter, she sat up.
Come on.
And he gave her his hand, and lifted her up, And when he had called the saints and widows, presented her alive.
Peter came, and the Lord granted him to resurrect Tabitha, or Dorcas, and her main thing was colts. Y'all understand how something that you might not think is huge and deep, how much the Lord appreciates and loves. Y'all ain't hearing me, man. Y'all ain't hearing me out there. Romans 16. It ain't always the big things is my point. The things that we might think is little is huge to God. Y'all ain't hearing me. Romans 16. It's much labor for all, y'all. Much labor. There is never not an abundance of work to be put in for the gospel. Trust me when I tell you. Because I'm here to tell you. Satan's minions and the people that worship Satan, they don't get days off. Satan don't care about them. And they got to do wild, elaborate, crazy ceremonies and rituals that involves dead people and feces and stuff. Our God ain't even asking for that. He's asking for obedience. So they putting in work, monster work. Y'all think I'm playing? There's much labor for all. Romans 16. We got to work them. That's all I can say. We got to outwork them. Romans 16. Let's go 1 through 4 and let's dance. Romans 16, 1 through 4. Go ahead, bro.
I commend unto you Phoebe, our sister, which is the servant of the church which is in Sarah, that ye receive her in the Lord, as becometh saints, and that ye assist her in whatsoever business she hath need of you. For she hath been a succorer of many.
Of only a few.
A succorer of many.
Come on.
And of myself also.
So Phoebe put in massive work. Massive work she did. I don't know what she did, but she got commended on her work. Well done, thy what?
Our faithful servant.
Just making colts. Go ahead, my brother.
Greet Priscilla and Aquila, my helpers in Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Who have for my life laid down their own necks, unto whom not only I give thanks, but also all the churches of the Gentiles.
Skip to 6. Go ahead, bro.
Greet Mary, who bestowed much labor on us.
A little labor.
A little.
A little labor or much labor?
Much labor.
Skip down to verse 9. Go ahead, bro.
Salute Urbane, our helper in Christ, and Stachys, my beloved.
Skip down to 12, bro.
Salute Tryphena.
That's good.
And Tryphosa, who labored in the Lord. Salute the beloved Persis, who labored much in the Lord.
What I'm showing y'all is much labor, much work to get put in for this gospel. It is not a dearth of labor to be done here. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 5. This is how we build and grow in the Spirit of God. So now that we know how we're supposed to interact with each other, now we know that there's much labor and work to be put in. Let me show you how we build and grow in the Spirit of God. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. And we're going 9 through 15. 1 Thessalonians 5, we're going 9 through 15. Go ahead, my brother.
For God hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Jesus Christ.
Come on.
Who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even also ye do.
Stop. We're supposed to comfort each other. And we're supposed to edify. In other words, teach each other. That's what we're supposed to do. It doesn't say, did that say antagonize each other?
Edify one another.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it didn't say antagonize or cause beef with one another or perpetuate beef or perpetuate hatred. It didn't say that. It said edify one another. Go ahead, bro.
And we beseech you, brethren, to know them which labor among you and are over you in the Lord and abolish you, and to esteem them very highly in love
Come on.
for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves.
Please read 13 again, sir.
And to esteem them highly in love for their work's sake, and be at peace among yourselves.
Come on.
Now we exhort you, brethren, warn them that are unruly, comfort the feeble-minded, support the weak, be patient towards all men.
Read 14 again, please.
Now we exhort you, brethren.
No, exhort.
Exhort?
Ain't got no
Exhort.
Duct tape now. Go ahead, bro.
Now we exhort you, brethren. Warn them that are unruly.
Stop. Warn them that are unruly. If they tripping, Pull them to the side, have that conversation. Warn them that are unruly. Go ahead, bro.
Comfort the feeble-minded. Support the weak. Be patient towards all men.
Some men.
All men.
Just the ones you like.
All men.
Just the ones that didn't get on your nerves last week.
All men.
Be patient towards all men and women. Go ahead, my brother.
See that none render evil for evil unto any man.
Stop. I'm going to let that one soak in and back away for a second. Please read that again from the top.
See that none render evil for evil unto any man, but ye ever follow that which is good, both among yourselves and to all men.
Some men.
All men.
Just the homies.
And to all men.
Just the dude that I had a barbecue with that was cool.
And to all men.
Just the dude I had a Corona with.
And to all men.
All men, y'all. See, I argue against the book because the book's going to say what it's going to say. So whatever scenario I throw out there, it's going to say the same thing. That's why I do that. Here's the point. Comfort one another, right? Exhort one another. Lift each other up. That's what we're supposed to do, y'all. Because in all honesty, it's all human beings against wicked angels. That's really what it is. And we need more unity among each other. We need more unity among Israel. Y'all ain't hearing me on that one. Let's go to Ephesians. The reason I say we need more unity is because we are one body on one mission. And the mission is to become God. If we got any other mission, like to be the prettiest or the most handsomest or the richest or the coolest or whatever, this ain't the place to be. Point blank. The mission is one body, one mission. To become Elohim. Ephesians 4. I'm not saying don't succeed in life. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is our mission overall should be to make it into the kingdom. Ephesians 4, 11 through 16. Go ahead, my brother.
And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ.
Come on.
Till we all have come into the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Christ.
This is what we're shooting for. We're shooting to become perfect like Christ, point blank. I know we say that every week, but we need to be reminded of that, because throughout the whole entire week, who is telling you to hold your tongue and exhort one another and be compassionate during the week? Are we getting that on the radio? Are we getting that on TV? We're not getting that. We're getting the exact contrary. We're getting, be sneaky. Do what you want to do. As long as you don't get caught, as long as it feels good, it's cool. So when we come here, we got to get all that stuff pushed out of our minds. Go ahead, my brother.
That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried away with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men, and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive.
Come on.
But speaking the truth in love.
In what?
In love.
In hate.
In love.
Come on.
May grow up in him all things, which is the head, even Christ, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measurement of every part, maketh increase in the body unto the edifying of itself in love.
Let me decomplicate 16. 16 is basically saying we are all part of one body, right? And all of the, okay, think of it in terms of a system inside of a body, right? Your circulatory system is moving blood via your heart to your brain, right? Your respiratory system relies on your circulatory system. That's what it's talking about. We are all one part of a body, and we're supposed to help heal and keep that body going, not make the body fight against itself. That is what he's talking about. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 13. Making increase of the body unto the edifying of itself, us in love, not in hate. And what is love? 1 Corinthians 13. Charity is love, y'all. Charity is love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love, right? It's the only thing that's just too little of. Real talk. 1 Corinthians 13. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. In here, this is how we deal with each other. Go ahead, my brother.
Charity suffereth long, and is...
Wait, that said charity does not suffer long. It is quick-tempered and harsh.
Charity suffereth long, and is kind.
Come on.
Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, it is not puffed
In
up.
other words, charity doesn't have leaven in it. That's why we got to constantly purge that leaven out. We can't be puffed up. We can't get on a high horse just because we keep the Sabbath now and we laughing at people that worship on Sunday when we used to worship on Sunday. We used to eat at Red Lobster. Why are we so on our high horse now? Y'all feel me on that? We got to have compassion, and we have to really remember where we come from and really remember where we were and use that as a tool to help, not to hurt. Go ahead, sir.
Doeth not behave itself unseemly, seeking not her own, is not easily provoked.
Wait, did that just say charity, which is love, is not easily provoked? Wait, you telling me that I'm supposed to be able to let stuff roll off my back and not be so quick with it? Wow, that's what it means. Go ahead, my brother.
Thinketh no evil.
Come on.
Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth.
Come on.
Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things.
Listen, I'm not saying that we're going to always be able to be all things and take bullets and rise up and Bruce Leroy's soul glow. I ain't saying that. What I am saying is, more often than not, this is the bar, and we should be thinking in terms of that. We should be able to be calm, cool, and collected and respect one another. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 12. 1 Corinthians 12. 1 Corinthians 12, we're going 12 through 14. 1 Corinthians 12, we're going 12 through 14, and we're going to dance with the stars. That means skip. 1 Corinthians 12, we're going 12 through 14, and we're going to dance. Go ahead, my brother.
For as the body is one, and hath many members, and all the members of that one body, being many, are one body, so also is Christ.
In other words, we are all interdependent upon each other in here. We are all interdependent to not become a stumbling block. We're not interdependent for salvation. In other words, what you guys do does not affect my what I do to you guys affects my salvation. I'm going to say it again. Your salvation does not affect me directly, but what I do to you to affect you affects my salvation. Y'all feel me? Y'all understand what I'm saying on that? Go ahead, my brother.
For by one Spirit are we all baptized into one body.
2 bodies.
1 body.
3 bodies.
1 body.
The Northern Tribe.
Into one body.
Go ahead, bro.
Being many. Oh, I'm sorry. Whether we be Jews or Gentiles, where we be bond or free, and have been made all to drink into one Spirit.
Come on.
For the body is not one member, but many.
Please read 14 again.
For the body is not one member, but many.
In other words, the body's not all just one automaton robot thing. We all are different personalities, different personality types, and we're all supposed to understand that and move among each other with love. And I ain't gonna say it's gonna always be easy, but when you have those moments where you want to sock somebody in the face, or if you're a woman, I don't know what y'all want to do, slap somebody or cry, I don't know what y'all want to do. I'm saying, when we come across that moment, we're supposed to pull back, take a deep breath, and remember what we're here for. All right? Y'all with me on that? Go ahead, my brother.
Verse 22.
Come on.
Nay, much more those members of the body which seem to be more feeble are necessary.
Come on.
And those members of the body which we think to be less honorable, upon these we bestow more abundant honor, and our uncomely parts have more abundant comeliness.
Let me decomplicate that. In other words, the parts or people that we think don't need the help, or we know need the help, let's give them the help. That's what we're talking about. Go ahead, sir.
For our comely parts have no need, but God hath tempered the body together, having given more abundant honor to the part which lacked.
Come on.
That there should be no schism in the body, but that the members should have the same care one for another.
Please read 25 again. Go ahead, bro.
That there should be no schism in the body, that the members should have the same care one for another.
Come on.
And whether one member suffer, all the members suffer with it.
Stop. If one person is in here suffering, technically we all suffer in some way, shape, or form. Somebody could be going something and that can mess their whole attitude up, and they could bring that attitude in here and that will mess somebody else up, and it's contagious. Y'all understand? Go ahead, my brother.
Or one member be honored, all the members rejoice with it.
And vice versa. If something is good, praise the Most High, let's all rejoice together. Let's go to Ephesians 5. So now that we learn how to deal with each other, Now that we learned about personality types, we learned how to build a church. Now we're learning how to actually grow and have more faith and grow in the spirit of God, in the mindset of God. Ephesians 5. We're going 1 through 2 and we're going to dance. Ephesians 5, 1 through 2, and we're going to dance. Ephesians 5, 1 through 2, and we're going to dance. That means skip. Go ahead, my brother.
Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, and walk in love as Christ also hath loved us, and hath given himself for us as an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling savor.
Skip down to verse 15, brother. Verse 15. Go ahead.
See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
Let me deconstruct 15. Walk circumspectly means be cautious. We know there's just different personality types now. So once you kind of figure out a person's disposition, use that knowledge in your interactions with them. Be wise. Don't be a fool when it comes to that. Y'all with me on that? Skip down to verse 20. Verse 20. Go ahead, bro.
Giving thanks always for all to God and the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God.
And brothers, no disrespecting the sisters. I'm going to say it again. Brothers, no disrespecting the sisters. And sisters that are married and have a man, if you got a problem with that sister, go talk to her husband about her behavior. Y'all ain't hearing me on that. If the sister has a husband and you got an issue with her, go speak to her husband. I know they heard me that. Skip to 20. Give me 22, bro. 22. Come on.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord.
Please read that again.
Wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands, as unto the Lord.
Come on.
For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the Savior of the body.
Come on.
Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything.
Now, I'm going to put a limit on everything. If your husband's trying to get you to rob a bank with him, don't do it. But if, in other words, if it's within reason, it ain't crazy, he's trying to get you to go punch somebody in the face or something, right? Be serious. That's all I'm saying. Don't just go overboard. And I'm going to back it up with this scripture. When David was coming to kill, what's my man's name? Nabal. What did Abigail do? She went and placated him. But Nabal already had the decision that he wasn't giving David nothing. But what she did was she's like, okay, I know David's a rider. He's probably going to kill him. I'm going to save my whole household. That's an example of what I'm talking about. Y'all with me on that? I see a couple of y'all with some tongues, mom. Let's go to Ephesians. Ephesians 6. I got something for the childrens too. Hey, children. Young teenagers. Young adults. Got something for y'all too. Ephesians 6. Let's go 1 through 4. It matters how you guys respond also. It's not, the Lord ain't just be like, hey kid, I ain't tripping on them. Nah. Let's read this real quick. Ephesians 6, 1 through 4. Go ahead, bro.
Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to step back for a second. I'm going to let that marinate. I'm going to say, young adults, obey your parents. Teenagers, obey your parents, because this is right. And if you don't, you will get something put upside your head. All right? Go ahead, my brother.
Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with
That what?
that it may be well with thee, and thou may livest long on the earth.
In other words, the Lord is telling you, respect your parents, honor them, because it's designed for you to have a good life based on that. Not anything else. Like your parents' life won't necessarily be affected. Your life can be cut short for not listening and obeying your parents. I want to see the kids give me a thumbs up if they understand what's going on. I see about 4 or 5, 6, 7 thumbs, mom. Go ahead, my brother.
And ye fathers.
Wait a minute. Fathers? What's up with the fathers? Go ahead, bro.
Provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord.
Admonition. Read verse 4 one more again. Fathers, those of us that have children, we are not supposed to just be so unbearably hard on them. That's why they have mothers and fathers. Fathers, look, Men, in general, we got what, like 4 emotions? And 2 of them is frustration and anger, right? The other one is hungry. You know what I'm saying? That's why we need women to kind of balance us out, Jack. We can go hard. We can keep going hard, because, sisters, it's because we know how hard it is out here. And it's not a game out here. That's why we do what we do. But here's my point. It can go to a certain point where you can do that and your kids grow up to be the Menendez brothers. So to avoid the Menendez brothers coming in your house with a pistol or Marvin Gaye, let's avoid Marvin Gaye, right? This is what we're talking about. Please read verse 4 again, bro. We want to avoid Marvin Gaye. Go ahead.
And ye fathers, provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in nurture and admonition of the Lord.
That's what we have to do. We have to nurture our children, right? We can discipline them. That's why they got their mama. We spank them, they run to their mama, and they get comforted, and then they come back with some act right? Now, y'all ready for some meat stew? We've reached this point in the lesson where we're going to go ahead and shift this thing from physical stuff to spiritual meanings. In other words, this is meat. If we cannot get along 80% of the time, do you think God is going to give us all power and authority and put us all in one place? Say it louder, please.
No.
9, like they say in Germany, okay? That's not going to happen. And I'm going to throw a twist on there. If my wife and I secretly hate each other and we're fighting and we don't like each other, do I think I'm going to get all power and authority and she's going to get all power and authority and God put us in one place? No. Either one of us is going to get it or the other one ain't going to get it, or we both ain't going to get it. My point is, we have to really implement these things, because ultimately the one family that we're really going to be is Elohim. You ready? Let's go to Revelation 20. The family ultimately that we're trying to be in is a priesthood of immortal beings with all power and authority and immortality. And more or less, from what I can read, we initially start off in the same place. So that means we really should like each other now. I don't want to have no secret beef with Travis because we're not going to get all power and authority if I got secret beef with him, right? Because it ain't going to be no, okay, now I can really tell Travis what I want to tell him and bring down a planet on his head. You know what I mean? I'm just using you as an example because I can see you. But my point is, that ain't going to happen, Jack. One of us, right, is going to be in the lake of fire, and the person with all power and authority is going to be looking down like, yeah, y'all got that one, didn't y'all? Revelation 21 verse. This is the one family that we ultimately want to be in. And I love you, Trav. I don't think I got a secret beef with you, bro. I ain't got no private dancing stuff going on in my head, all right? Revelation 20, verse 6. Go ahead.
Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first
The
resurrection.
second resurrection.
The first
The
resurrection.
third one.
The first resurrection.
Go ahead.
On such the second death hath no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years.
I'm going to show you this. This is meat stew. This is all one body. This is Elohim. This is what we're shooting for. And I guarantee you, if we don't get along right now, you will not see that person in the kingdom. Well, you will see that person in the kingdom. You will see that person in the kingdom. Let's go to Psalms 82. And trust me, I don't want to have no problems with nobody. If I've ever said something to offend somebody, I am sorry. Holler at your boy. I repent. I don't want no lava pit. I don't like swimming in lava. Y'all understand what I'm talking about? That's the lake of fire. If you go on YouTube and look up lava, it makes noise and has waves like water. Lava is like water on fire. A lake of fire. Y'all ain't hearing me. Do that one day. That'll definitely give you some act right, Jack. Psalm 82, verse 1, and then we're going to skip to 6. Ultimately, one body. One body here, metaphorically, and then one body as Elohim, literally. Psalms 82, 1, and then we're going to go to 6. Go ahead, my brother.
God stood in the congregation of the mighty. He judged among the gods.
I want y'all to just hold that thought for a second. It says he judgeth among the gods. Gods, plural. Immortal beings, one body, Elohim, with immortality and all power and authority. I'll say it again. With immortality and all power and authority. Immortality is nothing to immortal beings. It's only something to us. We're talking immortality and being able to create a solar system based on Monet paintings. That's what I want to do when I get the all-powerful Jack. That's going to be one of the first things I'm going to do. I digress. Verse 6, brother, go ahead.
I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
Let's go to Hebrews 12. Y'all right now. Meet Stu. If we can't get past this little thing right here, somebody's going to be in the lake of fire and somebody's going to be creating a galaxy out of Monet. Now, y'all think I'm playing, man. I'm studying Renaissance artists, Jack. Word up. Hebrews 12. I'm a logic artist. I'm an artistic person, but I'm logic. Hebrews 12. Hebrews 12, we're going 18:4. One body, a priesthood of immortal beings called Elohim. That's what we're shooting for. Hebrews 12, we're going 18 through 20. No, I'm sorry, that's a typo. We're going to verse 18, and then we're going to skip to 22 and hit 22 and 23. Hebrews 12, verse 18, skip to 22 and give me 22 and 23. Go ahead, bro.
For ye are not come unto the mount that might be touched, and that burned with fire, nor unto blackness and darkness and tempest.
Skip to 22. Where are we going to go? Go ahead, my brother.
But ye are come unto Mount Sion, and unto the city of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, and to an innumerable company of angels, to the general assembly and church of the firstborn.
Stop. The church of the firstborn. He's the firstborn from men born from among the dead, and we're going to be reborn. The church of the firstborn. That's what we get to. That's what we're building right now. Why am I whispering? Go ahead, my brother.
Which are written in heaven.
Whoa, stop. The church of the firstborn, which is written in heaven in the books. Hopefully we don't get our names blocked out of them books for acting stupid, right? Right. Go ahead, bro.
And to God, the judge of all, and to the spirits of just men made perfect.
The spirits of just men made perfect. Spiritual bodies, y'all. One family. Revelation 5. I mean, does that not sound wonderful?
Yeah.
I mean, we could kind of let some stuff roll off our backs every now and again if we want to be all in the same game, right? I ain't telling you somebody is not going to make you mad, but what I am telling you is think about Elohim, think about a lava pit, make your decision. That's it. Revelation 5, we're going 9 through 13. Revelation 5, we're going 9 through 13. Go ahead, my brother.
And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book, and to open the seals thereof. For thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to God by thy blood, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation.
Come on.
And hast made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth.
Please read verse 10 again, bro. I don't think they understand the severity and the severity of what we're dealing with. The reward of what we're looking for. Verse 10, please.
And hast made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth. And I beheld and I heard the voice of many angels round about the throne of the beast and the elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000, and thousands of thousands.
Come on.
Saying with a loud voice, Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing.
Stop. Y'all understand that the book says we are supposed to be co-heirs with Christ, right? What does co-heir mean?
Same thing.
Say it again.
Same thing.
Same thing.
We get the same thing Christ gets. All power and authority, immortality, and please read verse 12 again because I want everybody to understand what is at stake. Go ahead, bro.
Saying with a loud voice, Worthy is the Lamb that was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessing.
And blessing. Wow. Still, and a blessing. On top of all of that. Whoa. Verse 13, bro.
And every creature which is in heaven and on the earth and under the earth, and such as are in the sea, and all that are in them, heard I saying, Blessed and honor and glory and power be unto him that sitteth upon the throne, and unto the Lamb forever and ever.
Last script. All these things we're reading about were commanded and ordained by God. Either we believe them or we don't. And if we believe them, let's act accordingly. If we don't, let's act accordingly and get out of the way of other people. Psalm 37. I would definitely like to party with you guys and invite you all to my universe when I build it in the kingdom. But if I put myself in the lake of fire, that won't happen. And if you put yourself in the lake of fire, there's nothing I can do about it. Point being, I would like to hang out with you guys. Psalm 37, 2 verses. This is commanded and ordained by God. All we got to do is do this right here. Verse 23, bro, go ahead.
The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he divideth in his way.
Skip to 31, my brother. Go ahead.
The law of his God is in his heart. None of his steps shall slide.
None of his steps shall slide. In conclusion, read your Bibles, pray to God for understanding, and keep yourselves from sin. And I hope y'all got some understanding in Jesus' name. Before we read the announcements, I got something for y'all to understand. Because I'm trying to help my people on all fronts. This happened last week. I want you to read. This happened April 10th, 11 days ago. Yeah, I want y'all to understand what's going on out here. It's already numbered for you. Just read the numbers. Go ahead, bro.
Read the title?
Yes, please. And where it came from, just so they know I didn't make it in my basement.
This article came from the New York Times.